So today, someone on Discord asked about how to write a sequential file in 650 in the Beeb. What? Oh. Shut up. So, I think it was Arthur 93, I think it was. I think it was Arthur, was it Arthur 93 asking about how to create sequential files. So I thought that would be a good topic to try out. So, what I was thinking of doing is do it in BASIC to start with, and then do it in assembly. So you got both ways of doing it. So it's another one of those Twitch lessons. I haven't put everything on the desktop. Only frequent stuff. Only frequent stuff. So let's create a new basic project. Project name. File store. Add main file. Yeah, why not? No, we don't want sprites. No, we don't want that. So this is lesson. Whoops. Lesson 15. Working with files. It doesn't look like you're not working. I like that excuse. I like that excuse. Right. Where's that gonna... Where did that project open containing folder? Where did that put that? Really? In there? Okay. Whatever. We'll move it later. We'll move it later. Icons not allowed to be on your desktop, it's a rule. Whoa. Come on, mate, get in your bed and have a lie down. Go on in your bed, mate. Go on in your bed. What? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Say hello to everyone. Say hello. Hey? You gonna say hello? Say hello to everyone. You're not happy, are you? Hey? You're not happy, are you? Say hello. Yeah? Give your back a rub. Give your back a rub. Woof. Hey? Giving your back a rub. Could you hurt your back? Alright. Come here. It's Aston that's 15. He's 12, coming on 13. He's definitely hurt his back, haven't you, mate? Just give you a quick rub. Yeah. Give you a quick rub. Can you hear him? There we go. Go on, mate. Get your feet. That's it. There you go. give his back a rub, hopefully. Oh, lesson number 15 and not 17. Oh, yes, it is. It's 17, isn't it? Oh, it's 17. Right. Let's change that. Working with work on. I'm rubbish at typing. Absolutely rubbish. Right, there we go. We'll change that as well. Good spot, mate. Good spot. Good spot. Right, so I think it was Arthur. Was it Arthur 93? Asking about creating sequel. Yeah, Arthur 93 wants to make a sequential file. So I thought we could do, you know, how to Twitch lesson on how to do files. So first things first, I've got to make this bigger so you guys can see it. Font. Right. Source code. Let's boost that to there. No, maybe there. No, one more. There. That could do it. Oh no. Right. So, I'm gonna try and explain how to create a sequential file on the disk drive, yeah? I'm not going to do it for tape because it's irrelevant. But for on the disk drive, we're going to try and do it to create a sequential file. Because to create a sequential file, you need to work. Now he's doing poo circles. Just keep an eye on him. Just keep an eye on him. The thing is, he'd been out before I started the stream. That's why I didn't think he needed it. Do it with the Hunchback map ready for the game. Well, what I wanted to do is to explain how it works before we do some sort of implementation. Yeah. So what I wanted to do is to do it in BASIC first, show how to do it in BASIC, and then we'll move to machine 6502 and then do the same thing in 6502, right? So the way to create sequence files, as they're called, sequential files, because there's two different types of files, right? So what's the command? What's the command? What's the comment in here? I can't remember. Is it that? Ah, it's that. Right. Okay. Right. It's that. Right. So there's two different types of file type. Well, there are many different types of file types. Yeah. So we have .prg, which is equal to a program file. Yeah. Now, .prgs are only for the PC world. In the C64 world, they are PRGs. That, but I'll put the extension in. So star.prg. Yeah, but it's a PRG. Twitch apps crashed. And that's the most common thing that we see. We also have, what we're going to do today is a sequence file or sequential file, which is normally that on the PC. There is another one called a REL, which is a relative file, and a relative file is the direct opposite to a sequential file. As a sequential file, you can only you read at the start and you work your way through. Not that sort of relative. But a sequential file is that you can only print in order, and then you can only read in order. Yeah. But a relative file is a file where you can tell the 1541 that this file contains records of X number of bytes, and then what you do is you tell the disk drive that you want to go to record 7, record 8, record 9, and then you can store or retrieve data from that record. Yeah, and that's a relative file. Now we will talk about relative files when I do the personal finance application, because we're gonna do an application. We're gonna do a personal finance, so a checkbook type thing, which uses relative files. Yeah, and then the last but not least is the most rare one is a user file, USR. Now, I've never created a USR file. I know they exist because I've seen it in the 1541 ROM. So it must be a throwback from the PET days. Maybe they used user files more than, but it's in the D-type. Here's the file open command I use for my C64 spreadsheet. Don't know what type of file it is. It is a sequential file. It is a sequential file. Right, now the last one, which is a file type, you won't believe it, is this one. That is a file type. It's a deleted file type. So when you scratch a file on the disk, in the allocation table, it is marked as a DEL file, which means that it says it's deleted. So the ROM, the 1541 will not report it back when you do a load $. Here's the man. Here's the man. Hello, Arthur. We are doing this because you asked about it. We are doing this because you asked about it. So a DEL file is basically the 1541 doesn't get rid of the record in the file allocation table. Yeah, or the I think it's track 18. Yes, that command is a sequential file, but what it does when you scratch a file, it doesn't get rid of it off the disk drive, and it doesn't get rid of the entry in the directory, the file allocation table. I mean, it's not a file allocation table. It's something else, or it's called something else, which escapes me. But what it does, the file type byte in the directory is marked as DEL instead of anything else. So when you do load $, from the C64, BAM, thank you, BAM, thank you. It ignores the file types DEL, so it doesn't report them back when you do load $8. But they are there. You can see them, and you can see them if, I mean, my Kaidos could see them, but we filtered it out. So they're the different file types you can do on Commodore Basic in a nutshell. So we know about PRGs. We do them all the time. We're going to talk about sequential files because Arthur asked about it on Discord. So I thought, no, the extensions is what they would be known as, or would be known as on the PC. Yeah, it's just you know, like a Commodore program. When you save a Commodore program onto the PC, it's a .prg. Is the stream lagging? I haven't dropped any frames. So it must be Twitch then. Right, so how do you operate? How do you operate a sequential file? Well, you have to open up some file devices, yeah, and so we're going to do that, yeah. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to create a basic program. Don't operate a drop while you're drunk. No. So we're going to open up a file number so we can store information to a sequential file. So in Basic, it's called open. Yeah. Have you tried to follow old school coders' lips? Why? So we're going to open a file number that tells Basic that when we're talking to this file number, it's going to be talking to this file. Yeah. So because his sound is lagging. Really? Really? Oh, right. Okay. Nico looks... At least he's settled down now. At least he's settled down. After his number one. Oh well. Back to this. Yeah, he's hurt his. I think he's hurt his back. See, he fell down the stairs. It was last night. I didn't realise he'd gone upstairs, and then he come downstairs and he tumbled from the top step. He was tumbling from the top step. So by the time I got to him, it was too late. Anyway, it was when the England match was on. Hey up, SP. Welcome. Right, so back to this. So first things first, we need to identify a file number, right? So let's do some... So you require a file number. We also require a file name. What else do we need? What else do we need? Oh, we don't need anything else. Patience. We need a drive. Yeah, we need a drive. I know we need a drive. But yeah, they're the only two things that we need. Yeah. So we're going to. So the file number we'll use. We'll start at the beginning. We'll use file number 1. We are going to be talking to drive 8, and the secondary file address can be anything. Or use a cartridge. Well, that's a bit different. I suppose you can read off a cartridge, but you won't be able to write to it, especially read-only one. Then you need to give it a file name. All right. So let's give it a file name. So we'll call this setup. Right. Setup. Right. Yeah, pet was better for parallel. So we're going to give it a file name called setup, and we are going to tell it what file type we want. So we're going to tell it we want sequential. Now you can type in .seq, or you can just type in S. Yeah, and then we're going to tell it we want to write. Yeah, or you could type that. Either way. So we'll do both ways. Yeah. So or you can do it like that, yeah? So I'm going to just put a rem in there. You can do it either way, either or. Me, I use the shorthand, yeah? So basically we're opening a file on file number 1, device 8. The secondary thing doesn't really matter. And we're calling the file name setup, and we're going to create a sequential file, and we're going to write to it. So we're going to write to this file. Yeah? The less readable way, yes. But when you're talking the 64, remember each one of these letters takes a byte. As this takes 3 bytes, this takes more than 3 bytes. Alright? Stop being a pain. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're just going to... Yeah, 40 years later, you'll regret it. Yeah. Yes. You're only there to be a pain. And you are, mate. You are. A welcome pain, but you are one. Right. So, we're just going to print something to it. So, yeah. But, instead of doing print, you have to do print, then the file number. Alright. Some pain is good pain, yeah. Right, and so we're going to print John is great, and then we'll do something else, you know, print to 1, comma, and this time we're going to say Andy is a pain. Right, and then we'll just close, and you have to close the file. In fact, it's close 1 like that. Right, and that's effectively it. That is effectively it. Oh dear. You won't be the first one, mate. You won't be the first one. So, right, we should be able to run this, but I haven't set up my emulator yet. So let me set up the emulator. Oh, it's not there. It's there. Where's the files for the emulator? Aha! Okay. Right, got it. Yes, it's that one, isn't it? Right. Right then. So, let's see what damage we can do. Now, I've got to remember it's F5 on this, isn't it? Right. It says it's done it. Don't know where it sent it to. But that is flashing for some reason. Yeah, it looks like a disk error, doesn't it? Let's see if I can remember what it is. Oh, you can't do it on that, can you? Oh. Oh, hang on, 15. Oh, you can't. I didn't think you could do it from here. Do a catalogue. Ah, do a catalogue, yeah. But the problem is it won't tell you what the problem is. Yeah, I don't think it's... I think it's because there's no drive installed. Right, let's create a blank drive. Attach drive. Disk image. I want to create a new disk image. I want to create a new disk image. There we go. Let's put it somewhere where it's not going to cause any problems. Yeah, that'll do. Disk image. Give it a name. Test. ID A8. Did that save it? No. Oh, why can't I create a disk image? There we go. Well, that was troublesome. There we go. Right. So we've got to use Diskmaster. Right. So now we've got that in the disk image. Now I've just loaded that and I didn't really want to. So let's see if I can load the program back in. Dear, F5. Now that's gone error, which it is. Right, so attach image. Recent, come on, recent. Oh dear. Right, so if we run it, we should now create a file, but it isn't creating one. Right, where are we? Where is it? Here we go. So, it didn't save it. More points, please. It didn't save it, and I'm still trying to figure out what the problem is. I can't remember how you read the status. Hang on. Let's look at my Kaidos. Surely we could... I thought we could read the status of the disk drive from here. I don't think I've got the action replay. Why? Why? Oh, all right, let's have a look. Let's see what would be the problem. Yeah. Let's see if that will work. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it works in direct mode, mate. No, it's comma, isn't it? God, it's been a while since I've done this. Oh, wrong one. F6. Right, okay. It's a semicolon. I thought it would be. I thought it might. Well, there we go. Right, let's mount the drive. Right. There we go. Now it's done it. Now we're cooking on gas. Now we're cooking on gas. Thank you, mate, for suggesting that. Right, so we should now have... Can I refresh this? Or do I have to open it again? We should have a file in there. But it says we don't. There we go. So there we go. We've got one file, and it's a sequential file. Yeah. So let me just close that. Maybe we need to open it back up again. There we go. And then if we can double hit it in here. Whoops. And there we go. Exactly what we put in. Yeah, exactly what we put in. So this is how you create a sequential file. Yeah. So let's just do that. Run, map the drive's mounted. Now, because we've just run this again, it should have overwritten it. It should have overwritten it. And it probably hasn't, because it was flashing, wasn't it? Yes. Right. It doesn't append, it won't overdo it. I bet this is saying the file exists. Yeah. So let's do what Mikroman's told us. Yeah. Oh. What? What was going on there? Right, let's grab that. Paste. There we go. Yeah, you can't do it. You can't do an input in direct mode. Can't do an input in direct mode. So, what we can do though is we can do this, right? So we will open another one. Yeah. And then when we close that, we can do input comma A B dollar C and D. Well, C and D, that is track and sector. And then we'll close 15. Right, so F5. Got to remember it's F5. Oh, I left the that and that and that. F5. Right. So let's mount the drive. So that setup file is still on there. Right, so we've mounted the drive. Oh. Did I put input hash 15? Oh, I'll put a space in it like a Wally. Plank. Let's do this again. Right. Now we'll find out what's the problem with it. Because if we do print B dollar, you know what? File exists. No, it's the input. It's the input that doesn't work in direct mode, mate. It's the input. Yeah? So, it's saying the file exists. Yeah? Now, the way to overwrite... is you can either do it one or two ways. You can scratch it first and then rewrite it. Hey, Docster. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this. We're going to do this first. Right? We're going to do this first. So we're going to... Right, I'm going to make that 92. And then we're going to go to 100. We're going to open the command file first, yeah? And then what you can do is then you can read the error message. Right? You can read the error message. So let's do this. So let's put 500 rem read status of drive. We are files. We're working with files because Althor93 asked a question in Discord, so I thought we'd do a Twitch lesson. Yeah. So we're gonna read what's on the disk channel. Yeah, gonna read what's on the disk channel, and then we're gonna return. Right. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to ascertain whether the file already exists. Yeah. So what we need to do here is we need to go sub 500. Yeah. And then when it comes out, we test the first letter. The first letter. Just making sure it is, yeah. We test the first letter. So here we go if, and in this particular case it's A, but we're going to change that to error number, EN. Right, EN, error number. So if EN is equal to 63. Now 63 is the error number for file exists. Yeah. So we're going to say right, close one. So we're closing the file. We're closing the file we've just opened because it's in error. And then we're going to do print #15. And we're going to send to the command channel to tell it to delete the file. So scratch setup. Hey up, got off the screen. Oh, that's a bug. Oh no, Arthur. Right, we'll do that. So we'll scratch setup. Yeah, and then we'll go back to what was it? 110. Right. In fact, let's do this. 116. So we go sub 500, which gets the status of the drive. Yeah, and if EN is equal to 63, which is the error number for file exists, then we close our file number. We then send to the command file, scratch the file setup. Then we go back to 110, which then tries to reopen to set it. All right. So just to remind us, what's currently in this test setup is I'm great and Andy's a pain, but the first characters are wrong, right? So we should, this time, it should, and I think what I'm going to do, you may find the stuff after close one is ignored. I don't think so. I think you'll find that this is all right, mate. Yeah, this is all right. So here we go. So let's save it. Press F5. So it'll wait for us to mount the disk. So let's mount the disk. Right, so we've mounted the disk and we're going to tell it to go. So we're looking for this. If it flashes, that means it failed. It's not flashing. But we have got a problem in 510. Ah, that's why. You've just phoned Elon. Right, I forgot to tell it to end. Right. But now if I open it back up, there we go, it's changed it, look. It's changed it. Now, if you want to add to a sequential file, first you have to read the whole thing in, scrub it, and then send all the information you've just read back to it, and then add. You cannot append to a sequential file. Yeah, you can't do it. So that's how you write to a sequential file. Yeah. So I'm going to rename this to write to file. All right. So that's how you write a sequential file. Well, the way the 1541 disk drive set up is, you've got to tell it's a sequential file in the file name. Yeah, you've got to say file name, comma, sequential, comma, write. Right?
Hello, John here. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the stream.
Who's followed? Say hello. Say hello. Oh, High Priest 69, welcome. Welcome.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever. Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Docster. Docster's off again. He's blaming the dog again.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Oh dear. Docster.
Hi, John here.
Oh, we're still going.
Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
We're still going.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Well, Nick Loves Retro's just become is a subscriber, and he's just followed last week. He followed last week. It was Monday, wasn't it? Docster, thank you very much for the gift subs. I know you blame the dog. You blame Nico, but he's laying in his bed. You can't blame him this time. Well, SP, the whole reason we're doing this, right, is one, Althur93 asked in Discord about it, and also we've been talking about putting the maps as files that we load in when we change maps. So this is what we can use. This is the sort of thing that we can use to load those maps in, yeah? So what I'm trying to do is, first we do it in BASIC, and then we'll convert it into... Just look at Nico smiling. So we're doing it in BASIC, and then we'll do it into machine language. So, right, I'm going to clone this, and we're going to call it read from file. So now we're going to do the opposite. Right? We are going to read the file. We're going to read the sequential file and we're going to print it out. And the differences is you either use the word read or R. Yeah. Now, we can still do this, but, you know, if the file's not there, we can test for the file not there and then just close it and end it, yeah? So we could do that and then do end. We could put a thing in called print no such file. And we will do that and we will test to see what the error number is for file not found. I have a sneaky suspicion I think I know what it is. I have sneaky suspicion I think I know what it is, but I cannot be absolutely certain. But I think it's that. I think it's 62. Right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to then... We're going to get the... we're going to do an input #1, $a. Yeah? And we'll do the same thing again here. Input #1, $b. In fact, we won't use $b, we'll use $c. In fact, we will use $dr for that, and then we'll use $b. Alright? So, that should read the file and print it out. So what we're going to do is print $a and print $b. Right, here we go. F5. So let's mount. Right, here we go. Oh, file not open. Did I mount it? Did I mount it? Ooh, what's that doing? Oh, has that crashed it? Oh, that's crashed it. Let's try it again. Anybody think I knew what I was doing? But I do. Right, open. Right, we've opened it. Go. File not open. Oh, I've done it again, haven't I? I've done it again. That means that needs it in as well. Oh, it's in there. Right, let's mount it again. Right, it's not reading it. Yeah, it's not reading it. So, what's wrong with this? That should work. No, input should work. But We'll do get. We'll do get. We'll do get. Input should work. But it's not reading. Why is it not reading? I mean, we can do get. We can do get. That's not a problem. Let's do this. Right, let's try that then. We need to get this sorted. Right, I think I know what the problem is. Hang on. Let me just print.
Oi, John, pay attention to chat.
Get no space. Yes, mate. I've seen it. I'm just opening it up. I'm just writing the file again. Yeah. Right. So I'm writing the file again. So let's look at it now. Right, we've got a block. It's got 1 on it now. I think before it was 0. Right, so let me do that as well. So let's run this. Let's run this. F5. Let's mount the drive. Oops, wrong one. Now we've mounted the drive. There we go. Right. So now we know we've got it working. So we'll rem that out. And we'll unrem these two. So now we should be able to. Hey Stuart, welcome. Welcome. So we're going to load the drive up. Now it's mounted. Press enter and we should read those 2 lines. And there you go. There you go. And that's how you do sequential files. So to make this a bit more usable, right? Let's go to the file to write and we're going to add another line. Yeah? And we're going to do that. Yeah? So we're going to add an extra line to it. So here what we're going to do is we're going to go input $, print $, but before we do the print $, we are going to go if $= equals -1, then 140. So we're going to tell it to end. Yeah. If not, print $, and then go to 120. So we can get rid of that. So I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to rem it out because we don't need it now. So this now will loop round until it finds the last the last line. So let's run this. So we're going to update. We're going to update that sequential file. Okay. So let's attach the drive. All right. Tell it to go for it. Right, so that's done it. Yeah. So we should now have an extra line in that file. All right, so here we go. There it is. There's the -1. All right. So when we come to read it, we should be able to loop through it until we hit that -1 and then drop out. So here we go. So we'll attach the disk and we're going to tell it to go. There you go. And it's read both lines, and then because it found the -1, we have come out of the program. And that's how you write and read sequential files in BASIC. Now, if you want to know how to do it in assembly, it's very similar. The only difference is you need to know some kernel vectors. You need to know some kernel vectors. Alright? So, we will do it in assembly now. So we will create an assembly file and do it in there. I'm just thinking, do I do it in here or should I use Kick? We'll use Kick. So let me create a new directory for lesson 17. Twitch lessons, where are you? Am I retiring? No, nowhere near. Twitch streams. That's the one. That's the one. So 17. Working with files. Right. Right, so I'm going to, let me just close this down. Right, and I'm going to grab it because it's put it in a silly place. That's the one. And we'll put it in there. Right, so we'll open it back up now. Now I've put it in a proper place. Twitch streams 17. There we go. So we've got that back. Got that back. You've just realised you learnt this in 1982. Are you going to write a CP extension for VS Code so you can do BASIC? I have been thinking about it, mate. I have been thinking about it. Right, so let's open VS Code. And we will open the... In fact, we will open the workspace file. So, was it in here? No, it was here. There we go. Working with files. Right. So, let's create a new file. So we'll call this one writing sequence file. And so let's get started. So basic upstart 2. Now, we've already done this. I've already done this before. Right? I've already done this before. So, we're just going to copy and paste some bits and pieces. Right? So there we go. So this is in, by the way, this is in the Git repo. This is in the tutorials Git repo. Alright. So this is in the tutorials Git repo. So we're just going to borrow this. We're just going to borrow this. And then I'll explain how it all works. So we want that bit. In that, we need that bit there. So we need that bit. Okay, and we'll do the same thing that we did before. What else? Where else? Right, so print into printer, print into default, print into tape, print into disk. This is the one. Right. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. Now, let's change it. Let's change it to oh no. So dot byte byte 13. I think that's carriage return. Yes. I mean, I learnt all this stuff at school. And who are we saying now? Fat Wee Wee, welcome. Who's joking about me being old? Right, and that's what we're going to send to the sequence file, alright? So, same thing again. So, load in the file number, and then we're going to load X with 8 and 2, and then we're going to set the, and this, what this does, this is basically doing the open 1, 8, 2 part, yeah? That's what this is doing. This is setting the logical file settings. Yeah, that's what this means. Setting logical file settings, which is running this kernel command. Yeah. Then we are going to take this. So I am going to. So file name for disk and file name for disk end. Yeah, I'm going to put a pause in, mate. Yeah. I'm just making this out. So we need to tell it how long the file name is. We need to tell it how long the file name is. Now, the best way of doing it is to have a label at the end of the file name by doing that, and then telling it to minus the location of the file name. Right? And then what you do is you tell it, so this is file name length, and this is low byte of file name address, and this is the high byte of the file name address. Right, so and then this is basically doing the part of the basic line, right? So as this one's doing the open 8,2 1,8,2, and then this is doing the comma setup.sr, yeah? Then you do open, which is actually performing the open. Yeah, and then we're going to tell it what file number we want to use. So it's it's number 1. We're going to change the default channel to be this. So it's whatever we print will go out to that, and then we'll print out this text. So I got print to default. So where's that? In the Git repo. Did I miss something? What's the print to default? Ah, right, it's only doing that. Okay, so we'll do that. Right, so print to default. And the text is this. And print string. No, print string. That's what I want. Print string is the one above it. There. That one. AB1E. All right. So that should print. This print string will print this until it reaches a byte 0, and then it will stop. So then it prints. So it sets the default channel to be the channel 1 that we've just opened. Snow. No snow here. Then we print the text. Then we clear the channel. So it clears the channel. And then we're going to close it. Yeah? So, first things first. Let's put prompt in there. So, mount disk prompt. Dot text. So we're going to mount the disk, and we are going to print that out up here. So we print it out to say, and there is a function that allows us to input. Now I'm trying to remember what the function is. I think it's FFCF. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Where's my machine code monitor? Because I did it in there. Oh, someone's sneezing. Bless you. Yes, it is. It's character in. So we will do that. We will do that, and then we will do JSR character in. And because we haven't set a file, yeah, that will read from the keyboard. So that'll be waiting for us to do a prompt. All right. Oh, night, Gary. Yes, thank you, Mikroman. I was just looking. Right, so we should be on a winner. So this is going to print. This is going to write our SQL file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the and we'll call it setup 2. Right. So we'll keep the original one there. So here we go. F6. Let's see if it assembles, which it does. Oh, have I put any caps in all this lot? Oh, I didn't. Carriage return is 13, isn't it? Yeah. Right, let's try it again. It's not printing my string out. A's low, Y's high. Oh, hang on. Hang on. What's that text? Was it text encoding? Oh, encoding. There we go. We are Petsky upper, aren't we? No. So we're Petsky. So what are we then? We must be mixed then. We've hello Vims. We have already done the basic. We've already done the basic proof of concept. We're now converting the basic proof of concept into a assembly. I'm just getting confused about my text. There we go. Now it's right. Right. So let's mount our disk. Okay, so that's mounted. So I'll just press enter and we should get some action. And we did. And it's done. Right, let's see. Do we have another file? Yes, we do. But there's a problem. It's 0 bytes. It didn't close properly. So, why did it not close?
Hello, John here. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the stream.
Who's just followed? Say hello. Say hello. Who's just followed? Welcome. You see assembly code, so you followed. Welcome. Welcome. Right. We didn't print anything. We did not print anything. So, what I'm going to do, I am going to just rem that out, just to make sure that our text is printing.
Oi, John, pay attention to chat.
What? File open, I believe. Oh, it could be. You're right, mate. It could be. It could be. Right. Where's my book? Let's just check. Let's just check. Open, open, open. Open is FFC0, which is going to F34A. F3.
Oi, John, pay attention to chat.
No, above that. Oh, hang on. If you put the disk in the path when launching Vice, it will auto mount that. Oh, will it? If you put the disk in the path where we're launch, so it has to be in the same directory as Vice, yeah? Does it have to be in the same directory? No, in the same directory as the source code. Oh, right, okay. Okay, well let's just make sure I've got the open working. Right, open F34A. Open is documented the kernel IOs. It can be entered by blah blah blah. The routine jumps blah blah blah. Yeah, we know about that. Da 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 da. In order to specify the logical file number, the file da 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 da. After these two routines are called, open is then called. Well, that's right. I mean, close, we have to tell it which to close. But open, I didn't think you needed to tell it what the... Because we set everything up. Right, okay. Let me just see if it's printing out what we're asking it to. Because I don't think it is. Right, let's just run it. So it should print to the screen. Right. So we'll just mount it anyway. Nico is sleeping. Yeah, so it's... Right, okay, so it is definitely printing it. It's definitely printing it. But why did it not close it? Let's just make sure I'm using the right one. F291. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. It says it's documented in the... Oh, it's here. Okay. Oh no. Where's it documented then? Kernel. It says it's documented in the kernel, but I can't see it. That's GEOS. F291. Close is documented kernel routine which enters the jump table. Yes, the routine. Right, this is accomplished by loading the accumulator with the logical file number of the file to be closed. Right, so it's accumulator, which we're doing. We're opening file 1. We are sending the stuff out and then closing it. Oh, we have to put the path when we call Vice. Right, okay. We should be able to do that as a parameter in here, shouldn't we? We should be able to do that as a parameter. Let's see. Kick. Right. I called it test, didn't I? Oh, I shut down it, didn't I? Let's see if it does it. Test D64. So that's what you're saying, yeah? Well, that's not going to... Oh, it is. That's going to work. Right, open. Workspace is already open. Okay. Right. Let's see if it's mounted. It doesn't like that at all, does it? It's not running it. What's the matter with you? Right. Okay, mate. Okay. Let me just sort this out. Let me just sort this out. There must be an option. Yes, I know, that's what he's telling me. Alright. Right, guys, I'm going to... That's not building, so we'll have to take that out. We'll just do it the old way. Yeah, let's just make sure it still builds. Yeah, it's building. Right, I'm just going to take his nibs out, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, I'll just put the waiting vid on. Right, won't be long. Where is that disk master? There it is. Let's get rid of that file that we've got on there. Oh, he's done it. Oh, right, we'll do it again. Right, we're going to delete it. Right. Right, we'll try it again. Right, so let's mount it. Yeah, that's there. So we'll mount it. Hit it. Yeah, right, it's done it. So we'll close it. Oh, have I shut it down again? Oh, what a wally. John, stop closing this master down. There you go. Yeah, Aston licks everything. I don't know, don't know, but he licks everything. I mean, he wouldn't leave Nico alone yesterday. He was licking his ears all the time. I think he knew that something was up. Right, so we have got it now. We have got it now writing to the disk. Yeah. So the question is that to read it back. Oh, have I shut me GitHub down? Oh, it looks like it. Hang on, let me go back into GitHub. Where's the repo? Because I can't remember. Can't remember. Ooh, I've got, what's this? Starstruck. Oh, I've achieved Starstruck. What's this one? Oh, a pull request. Right, okay. Tutorials. So it was 20 and 21. Right. That is divide. So it's got to be this one. So this one is input. Right, so this is input. So this is what we're doing. So we are checking for... Oh, we are checking for... We are checking for nothing. Right. So we need to allow us to read to to allow us to read, we need to have something that says that's the end of the file, yeah? Alright, so we're doing exactly the same thing again. The only difference is we're gonna create a routine that does an import and then display it. So what we need to do is I need to go back in here and we need to change that setup. So I'm going to delete that, and we are going to in here we're going to put a character so we can test for it. Yeah, so we're going to say character 255, yeah, so we can test for it. So let's run that and then we'll do the read. So let's mount the disk. So that should do it. Let's load it up to make sure. There you go. There's character 255 there. So that's what we're going to be looking for when we do the read. Right, so let's copy this and paste it, and we're going to call it reading SQL file. Your cat's watching the dogs again. Hang on. Should we give him a shock? Should we give him a shock? There you go. Now what's he doing? He's gone bonkers. Oh, they've gone big! Ah! He's pouring at the screen. Oh, excellent. Well, we'll leave it there for him. Right, so now we've got this read. So what we're going to do is we're going to do... He's behind the TV now. So what we're going to do is we're going to read from the disk, yeah? So we're going to do the character in, and we're gonna check. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing as we did with the write, yeah? So we're gonna prompt to tell us to mount the disk, and then we're gonna set up everything, yeah? The only difference is now we're gonna change that to an R for read, yeah? So this is exactly the same up to there, yeah? Exactly the same up to there. And I need another routine. And it's this one here. Right. So this is the same, this is the same. Now this is where it gets different, yeah? As here, we changed the default output channel to channel 1. We are now going to do the same thing, but instead of default channel out, we're doing default channel in. Who's a chicken? Right, so, and then, oh, chicken, get you now, I get you now. All right, and then we're going to do a bit of a loop. All right, we're going to do a bit of a loop. So we're going to go and we're going to JSR CHR in. Hello, Mrs. OSK. Hello. Right. So we're going to do the character in, and then we're going to check to see if it's our 255 character. Yeah. If it is equal, we're going to go to close. We are done. Yeah. If it's not, then we're going to send it out. Chart out. So we're going to send it out to us, and then we're going to jump back to the looper. Alright, so here we are done. We clear the channel and then close it. Right, so let's see if this is going to work. So we open it, we set the default input channel to be channel 1, then we read the character in. Is it 255? No, it's not. Print it to the screen, go around. If it is, then we're finished. Right, let's see if that works. So let's do that. Come on. There we go. John is the best. Woo! There we go. John is the best. Right, we can make that a little bit nicer. What is going on? Are they fighting over beds? Yes, I did see. Is he taking your bed? Has he taken your bed? I know, you don't have to keep looking at me. Right. So that, right, let's try that now. That should print on the next line. What is Nico doing? He's upside down, isn't he? Yeah, he's upside down.
Oh my god, more bits? Thank you very much. You guys really spoil me.
What was it? Aston's... Who's... Oh, Mrs. OSK trying to get the bottom corner again. Trying to get the bottom corner. Thank you for the bits. Yes, it was 50. Big 5-0. Aston's going to kick him out of his bed again, isn't he? He's going to kick him out. No, Nico's going to kick him out of his bed.
Hi, John here. Another subscriber. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Docster. That was very kind of you, mate. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, oh, oh. Oi. No. Back away. Back away. Come on. Docster, you are a true gent, mate. A true gent. And I've just looked on here and it says, right, listen to this. Docster's just gift subbed Docster gift sub to Tash the Minion. They have given 243 gift subs to this channel. Oh my god. 243. I've only just seen that number. I've only just seen that number. Oh my god, I could have bought a new car for that. And hence why you are a VIP, mate. Hence why you are a VIP. Thank you very much. You're only 7 away from 250, mate. Only 7 away. Not that I'm asking you to do that. I've just realised what I was saying. It's not that I... Please don't take it that I was... As soon as I said it, I thought, no! Right. Open. Right. Yes, I know Gent was streaming. I would have watched it, but I was doing it myself as well. That's alright. Not a problem. Right, let's read in. Come on, be on the... There we go. Nico is sleeping and SP has done multicolour. So there you go. So we've now created a write in a sequential file in both basic and assembler. And now we've done the read as well. No, mate, no. I was only an observation. It was only an observation. It was only an observation. Whoa, take time. Right, okay. So, Arthur 93. Are you okay now? Because this whole thing was for you, yeah? Because you asked the question in Discord, and I thought it was a good topic for, you know, working with the... Yeah, and also we're going to use it in Hunchback because we're going to use this technology to load the maps in, right? So we're going to use this technology to load the maps in when we start putting the maps on the drive, yeah? So instead of using memory to store all the maps, we're going to put them on the disk, and then every level will load that particular level off the disk and load it in. But we're using this technology. We'll be using the sequence. Yes, it is. So we'll be using the sequential file stuff. Yes, that's what we're going to do, Stuart. We're going to start when we've got all the mechanics sorted out, we're going to then put all the maps onto the file, yeah, and then load them in. Yeah, Nico's coming up to 13. He's 12 at the moment, coming up to 13, and Aston's 15. Right. So that is basically it. So we'll use this sort of technology when it comes to when we start putting the levels on the disk. Because I was just downstairs, I was thinking, is there going to be any trouble with sequential files? And it shouldn't be, because it will load. No, it'll still load a 0. It'll still load a 0 because it'll be classed as a 0. The only thing that we have to be concerned about is the length of the file. So we have to test when we've run out of characters. So, for example, if I take this out here, and we just get it to keep on asking and asking and asking for the characters, we should end up with an error. We should end up with an error, but we may not know what that error is because we've not done it in basic. But we'll do it in basic. But it should error. Yeah, look, it's just scrolling. It's just that's it. There's no sort of end of file sort of test. That I don't think. Let's have a look. I think that's one thing that wasn't there. Why is it doing entry? Yeah, I didn't think there was oh, there's a quote in there. EOF. Right, let's see. Have we got any way of testing for end of file? No, I didn't think so. I didn't think so. Night, everybody. Night, Stuart. Chat to you later. Right. Let's see if we can figure out if there's an end of file. See if there's an end of file test. I don't think there is. Character in. Oh, is that in location 90? Does that work with the... Does that work with every device? Oh yeah, end of file. Right, let's try that, shall we? So we are looking at bit 6. Bit 6. So 64. Right, okay, let's try that, shall we? So we're not using any others, so LDY, LD, well, we'll use X 90, CPX, no, we've loaded that in, transfer A into X, LDA 90, and it with 64, that's 40, CMP, and it was 64, branch if equal to 0, no, branch if not equal, yeah, branch if not equal to we are done, transfer X into A, print it out. Right, let's try that. Let's try and see if that works. So let's mount the disk. Well done, mate. Well done, mate. Well done. Well spotted. Night night, Mrs. Ice Cake. Chat to you tomorrow. Well done, because that is now worked, you know, it signifies the end of file and it's come out and it's worked. So we could do that on the basic stuff here. We could do that on the basic stuff here. Instead of testing for the -1, we could actually test for the end of file. So if we did that, and then so if we if peak open bracket 90 and 64 equals 64, then 140. So let's try that, shall we? F5 in this case. Let's mount the drive. Ooh. That didn't like that, did it? That come out straight away. Hang on, was it $1.90? Ah, it's 144. That's the problem. There we go. That should do it. Let's do this. There we go. There we go. So that's done it in BASIC as well. So now we can test for the end of file, and it's come out straight away. Well, there you go. Right. So that's what I was wanting to do today, was to introduce you to the sequential file format, yeah, where we would read sequentially in and write sequentially out, and that's basically what we're going to do with the maps. We'll be reading sequentially in the map data and all the other ancillary data that comes with it, and processing it as we would if it was in memory, yeah. And we will go into the other type. So we'll go into the relative type when we do the stream about creating our own little checkbook balance. Finance application that I wrote to look after my finances when I was working back in 1990. I've still got the data. It's here. Still got the data. It's here. And you'll be surprised when you see how much I got paid. Because I looked at it, I went, really? I got paid that? Really? I can't remember that far back. Oh, thank you, Mikroman. I mean, blame Author 93. He was the person that asked the question in Discord, and I thought it would be a good topic to. It'd be a good topic to cover, because this is the application side of C64 coding, not game creation or game development. This is the utility development side of it. So, and we will use it in Hunchback. You had to piece it together. You had 2 books, mate. I had no books, and I worked all this lot out. But like I say, right, here we go. So this is my bank account program that I wrote in the early 90s that looked after my accounts, right? And so there is that's the sequential file. So that's the setup file that sets up the program, and then you'll see further down here, that is what sets up the relative file. Yeah, that's what sets up the relative file. So, and like I say, the difference between a sequential file and a relative file is a sequential file you can only write from that point down and read from the start down, as the relative file. The relative file, you can place data anywhere inside that file, anywhere. So it's a great databasing thing. Where are the REM statements? Well, this program is massive, mate, and it's got data statements and it's big. This program looked after my finances for 8 years. 8 years before, and then I got a PC, and then I wrote it on the PC in QBasic. I wrote it exactly in the same way on the PC in QBasic. Is it? Is it? So you're saying this can be ST? All right, let's try it. If you're saying that, that will be impressive. Okay, here we go. And sure enough, it is. Dear. Nice. Nice. Right, I'm gonna do that. Just to put the both ways in. Well, that was nice. I didn't think that. Mike knows basic. I didn't think there was a reserve variable, to be honest. I bet it's in the book though, is it? Is it in the book? Oh, look, there it is. Returns basic use, reserved variable ST. Alright, so you don't even have to do the AND, you just do ST equals 4. Well, it says here, if ST and 64 will be true, then that's the... Oh, right. So, ST and 64. So, you don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. Right, let's just check. Let's just check that that works. Oh, it does as well. We'd have to bet. Well, of course it would be quicker because it's not having to do a compare against 64. It's just the result of the AND. But yeah, it does do it. It does do it. Right. So, I love the text prompt. Hey Nikomo, welcome. So, just to recap, Althor93 asked in Discord, has anybody used sequential files before? And I thought it would be an interesting stream to talk about reading and writing to files. So we've what we've done is we've written to a sequential file in BASIC. We have read back in BASIC, so now you've got the ways to read and write, and then we've done the assembly version as well. We've done the assembly version as well. So this will be this will be added to the Twitch stream repo tonight. So if I go into my GitHub and we go old school coder, Twitch streams, it'll be in here, right? So there'll be a new directory called 17 working with files. Yeah. And then you'll be able to get it from, say, tomorrow, because I'll do it tonight. But we are going to use this technology, like I say, in Hunchback to load the levels in. Yeah. So we're not going to be using... So once we've got all the mechanics sorted out, then we'll add the loading of levels from the disk. And we'll use this, this code, slightly different, but we'll use this code to load the levels in, ready for it to be used on the next level. Yeah. So so that means we're going to be using quite a lot of disk input output, and this is an area that you people don't really use because game playing and stuff like that. I have Nikomo, I have in this instance, yes. I have. The levels will have to be PRG files. They don't have to be, mate. They don't have to be. But they can be. With the thing about PRG files is we can actually specify where to load them. To be honest, we can specify where we can load them. So a PRG file has a load address, yeah? But we can override that load address and tell it to load it somewhere else. So kernel has to be banked in when using the routine. Yes, it does. But there's nothing stopping us, Nikomo, loading the level into the memory underneath RAM, yeah, and then underneath kernel, and then turning the kernel back off, and then we would see it. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. So we would bank in the kernel to do the load and the read and stuff, and then bank it out once we've finished. Sequence files are stored as sequential strings. Are they? Are you sure? Are you sure? Right. The only reason I'm asking is, here we go. Here is my bank file thing. So there's the setup sequence file. So if I open that up with Notepad, you're saying it should be ASCII. It's not. It's not. No, it's not. I didn't think it was. But, to be honest, mate, we could, I mean, like, I'm just thinking we could use the PRG structure and use the load save routine anyway. And not have to worry about, you know, end of files and stuff like that. I think he's hurt his back. I think he's hurt his back. I'll give him a cuddle when we're finished. Right. So we'll use this sort of technology. Use DIR master. Well, I can't. Oh, you mean DIR master on the temp ones? Well, yeah, of course we have stored ASCII in here. But I think we can still store, you know, like we stored 255. I reckon we could store any ASCII character in there. To be honest, look, there's 255. Look, just because it's a pi. Yeah. I mean, we could write a so that's 255. What's 128 was the checkerboard, wasn't it? Yeah, 127 is the checkerboard. But it's all Petsky anyway. It's Petsky, yeah. So it's not the screen codes. It's Petsky codes. Yeah, it should work. It should work. Whoa. Oh, it doesn't like it, does it? It doesn't like that. Nah, I can't get to that site, mate. I've just copied it, mate. It's... Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Alright, so that's today's stream. I'm going to end it there. So, I'd like to thank all the patrons that are contributing to my channel. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Thank you very much.